What's going on, you guys? It's Nick Johnson, your favorite sports journalist, YouTuber, back here with another video, giving you another sports update for the week. As of course, we're going to start a little bit on the NFL action, which is tonight's game between the Miami Dolphins and the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll kick off week 3 of the NFL season. So later on tonight, Jaguars, Dolphins, tonight on Channel 11, Thursday Night Football. Who do you got? The Dolphins coming into this game hoping to get their first win of the season under Brian Flores and his squad. They're 0-2 to begin the year, while Jacksonville sitting at 1-1, winning the season opener before losing the last game out to Tennessee. Hoping to rebound and build a 2-1 lead, 2-1 record to begin the NFL season. But Miami's still looking for their first win of the year. So who do you got in this game? Who you betting on, and who you hoping to see what comes out of this one? Many people may not be anticipated with this due to the nature surrounding it, so which is kind of bland and obvious in a way. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, who you got in that game, if you're interested in this one. Shifting to the NBA, last night in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat, the Miami Heat win this one 112-109 behind 20-year-old rookie point guard Tyler Herro's career rookie Miami Heat franchise playoff rookie record, 37 points coming off the bench. Herro was the big namesake hero in this game. 37 points coming off the bench as the sixth man, and the 20-year-old rookie is just steadily, rapidly improving as the playoffs went on. And he's becoming one of the big unsung heroes for the Miami Heat in this year's playoffs. So, congrats to him. Jimmy Butler had 24 points along with 9 rebounds. Bam Adebayo, who was playing with a sore shoulder, had 20 points and 12 rebounds, and Goran Dragic had 22 points as well. So Miami, with a collective effort once again, has been the whole story throughout these playoffs, have now taken a 3-1 series lead, hoping to close this series out on Friday night at 5 p.m. Pacific. So do make sure to tune into that one to see if Miami, with one win away from punching a ticket to the NBA Finals. So that's right. The Miami Heat, out of all people, a dark horse contender, is literally one win away from clinching a berth in the NBA Finals. Their first appearance since 2014, which is the final year of the Big Three era of LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, all that. Now, the Boston Celtics are in a heap of trouble. After winning the last game out, they really just couldn't find a way to get into rhythm early on. But they managed to cut the deficit to within 2 twice, but the Heat, as steady and poised as they have been behind the steady elite scoring of Tyler Herro and company, just basically nailed it down the stretch. So with that being said, the Celtics are in a heap of trouble. They're now dug themselves into a 3-1 hole. It's probably going to be impossible to come out of unless they find a way to make adjustments if you're Brad Stevens. So in the loss, Jason Tatum had 28 points and 9 rebounds, while Jaylen Brown had 21 points, 9 rebounds as well. Kemba Walker had 20 points, and Gordon Hayward in his second game back from injury had 14 points, and Marcus Smart had 10 points to go along with 11 assists. So good effort for the Celtics, but it just wasn't enough. Now they got to find a way to get out of this 3-1 deficit and hopefully force a Game 7, which is going to be in a couple nights. So Game 5 is tomorrow night. Do tune into that. And how do you think this series is going to turn out? Do you think Miami will clinch this with ease? Do you think the Celtics can pull off a Denver Nuggets-like-esque type performance down the stretch and force a Game 7 and possibly win it? Let me know what you think. Anyways, tonight will be Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Denver Nuggets. Nuggets managed to make this a series against the Lakers after getting outshined in the first 2 games. And the Nuggets out-rebounded the Lakers by a wide margin in Game 3 in their huge win. The Lakers hold a 2-1 series lead in this series, hoping to take a commanding 3-1 lead and hopefully put this series out of reach. So tonight is Game 4. Lakers up 2-1. And how do you think this series will turn out? How do you think tonight's game will turn out? Who do you got? Lakers, Nuggets, and how do you think this series will end? So let me know in the comment section what you think. In Major League Baseball, you got two more clinching scenarios. The Cleveland Indians have officially clinched a playoff spot. The Toronto Blue Jays, today, if they can just win today's game that they're playing in, will clinch a playoff spot for the first time since 2016. Like I said, the Cleveland Indians have just clinched a playoff spot. Yesterday, the Tampa Bay Rays have clinched the American League East Division for the first time since 2010, and they're guaranteed to possibly have out for the number one seed in the American League playoffs. So it's going to be based on a 1 through 8 playoff seeding, kind of like the NFL in a way. But no, I take that lie back. It's more like NBA and NHL style wise. Playoff seedings 1 through 8 in the newly expanded playoff format due to the whole COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah, that's basically half on that scenario. Now we shift over to hockey. In last night's Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals, the Tampa Bay Lightning dominated the Dallas Stars to win it 5-2 and take a commanding 2-1 lead in the Stanley Cup Finals. The 5 goals committed by Lightning players Nikita Kucherov, Steven Stamkos, the longtime captain Steven Stamkos, finally making his long-awaited playoff debut after going down on IR due to a lingering back issue back in February. But unfortunately for him, he didn't manage to finish out the rest of the game as he left early in the second period. But before he left, he did contribute in one of Tampa Bay's goals that pretty much blew the game wide open in a way. So Kucherov and Stamkos each contributed a goal in the first period, and then the Lightning would just pour it on from there in the second with goals from Victor Hedman, Braden Point, and Andre Palat. Braden Point, and Andre Palat. So Kucherov, Stamkos, Hedman, Point, and Palat all contributed nicely to cruise to a 5-2 win. And Dallas's only 2 goals of the game were from Jason Dickinson and Matt Heiskanen, both in the first and third periods respectively. So the second goal from Dallas was too little too late. And now Tampa Bay is in control of their destiny from their lineup top to bottom. Really good, solid skill players with their great skating ability to generate pressure, to generate forecheck, great offensive chances, and a much more crisp and soundly defensive unit. And really great goaltending from Andrei Vasilevsky has been the story throughout the playoffs. And Dallas is known for being a high-scoring team, but Anton Khudobin is really no slouch in the playoffs as well. He's been a heavy favorite himself to win the Conn Smythe Trophy. So whoever comes out of this series as the winner will be awarded the Conn Smythe Trophy as a playoff MVP, as Stanley Cup playoffs MVP. So it's going to be a real good one. So Lightning win last night 5-2 with Game 4 set for Friday night on NBC or NBCSN. So make sure you do tune into that one. And but let's go a little bit outside of the sports grain right now, and I want to address the whole situation regarding last night, or rather yesterday evening's federal court judge's decisions regarding the case surrounding the murder of Breonna Taylor. As we all know, back in May or April of this pandemic is when 3 different officers in I believe Kentucky had barged into the home of Breonna Taylor and her boyfriend Rayshon Brooks, and immediately fired at Taylor, shooting at her 6 times, killing her instantly. And Brooks was arrested after drawing a gun on the officers to defend himself. As we all remember, Taylor, 27-year-old black woman in Kentucky, correct me if I'm wrong, was working in the front lines when the whole COVID-19 pandemic was spiraling out of control, and was a hardworking EMT and was just doing her efforts to fight off the COVID-19 pandemic, as many countless other doctors have done their part to make sure countless lives are being saved, and make sure everybody, if they also can go home in one piece. You know what I'm saying? And now, unfortunately, As we all remember, we lost one of our brightest people, brightest heroes, and for her to be taken away like that from another example of police brutality is just amazing. It's just unethical. And of course, yesterday's evening, the court decision has decided to rule all three officers not guilty on the murder of Breonna Taylor, and decided to award her family a $12 million civil lawsuit settlement. Now, one of the officers was charged with wanton endangerment, something like that, for another crime earlier. So basically, all the three officers who murdered Breonna Taylor got off scot-free. It's no surprising to me on exactly how corrupt the American government system really is. Because through the eyes of many, you've seen, like, for example, like if it's like the littlest of crimes committed by a white dude and a black dude, you see what the outcome is. A white dude committing the same crime, he gets like a lesser sentence, like probation, on average. On average. Even the numbers and the images and showings tell you why. But if it's a black dude committing the crime, he gets like several years to life in prison. What does that tell you? There's no justice. Regardless of how exactly what people want to put it as, it's disgusting. Saying, oh, you should have complied with the officers. For what? They just barged into their home for no freaking reason. No knock order or not, you did not have to kill an unarmed woman in there. Regardless of what your story is on that, a human being was taken from us in the most unjust manner possible. And you got people outside like Brandon Tatum saying that they're lying about Breonna Taylor, saying that she's no angel and whatnot, saying that she's been tied to these illegal drugs, prostitution, rings and whatnot. I'm just like, what the fuck? You see, people like Brandon Tatum and Candace Owens and anybody else you want to think the outside narrative is what keep us black people from going forward. And it's disgusting. Those types of people are what we call our no-good coons, and they're a much more dangerous method than white people have been. Or it's just as bad as, well, I'm not going to say all white people, is because I've known plenty of white folks that are really great people that I've come across with and whatnot. But if you got like other people that basically look at you wholly different, then there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way they want to see things and how they view it. What they want you to believe. And also in sports-related news, and also related to this, UFC fighter Colby Covington won his fight up in Las Vegas. Made a comment saying, draping the American flag across his shoulders, thanking his everybody fighting on the front lines, police officers or whatnot, and saying that he's sick of these woke athletes like LeBron James, who was standing up to make a change for racial equality. And he even made a racial derogatory comments toward another UFC fighter who was from Africa, saying that his little tribe will be spreading out smoke signals. Like, the fuck? And clearly he supports Donald Trump, because at one of his press conferences, he wore a hat that says, "Keep America Great." So it's no surprise to exactly what type of people that you're going to be surrounding yourself with and whatnot. And it's really disgusting. Because for 400 years, we've been dealing with the same method. And now people want to come out and say racism is dead. It's not much of a big issue. Well, guess what? They make sure that they try to hide it from us. So that makes sure we don't get caught up with the big picture. That's the whole scenario behind this. Regardless of what you want to look at it, racism still exists. They just hid it until an orange-looking dude, probably pretty much ate too much oranges throughout his life, came about and just basically unveiled America for exactly what it is. And there's no other way for you to deny it. Every time I step out, I always think about my life, regardless of what I do. And I just sit and wonder whether or not it's going to be like my last day on earth or whatever happens to me in some sort of way. I always think about my mother, my grandmother, my family, my friends, all the people that I've come across with throughout my entire life. I just only wonder exactly what's going to happen next. Like, am I going to be in the next statistic? Is my mother? Is my grandma? Is my uncle? My cousin? My auntie? Like who's going to be next? My grandfather? It's a cycle that's endless and going on for like centuries now, and nobody wants to admit it. Since like the first black man was kidnapped from Africa back in 1612, nobody just wants to admit that. Matter of fact, for those who want to shout all lives matter, where was all lives matter when the first black man was kidnapped from Africa and slavery ensued in 1612? Where were you when countless other black folk were getting lynched left and right in the South in the 1900s and 1920s and whatnot? Where was all lives matter when they had the Tulsa massacre in 1921? Where was all lives matter when we had the civil rights movement of the 1960s? Well, the 1950s and 60s. It's ridiculous, man. Anyways, that's all I have to say for now. I apologize for getting this off my chest, but this is something I want to talk about. And, of course, that's today's latest updates in the world of sports and whatnot. And, like I said, I want to take that time to get some off my chest regarding the whole Breonna Taylor situation and whatnot. So, yeah, anyways, that's all I have to say. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And make sure to hit that bell button where you get my daily notification updates while we post more of these in the near future and whatnot. Do make sure to hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook and whatnot. I'll post some more links down below. And that's it for now. I'm Nick Johnson, and I'm signing off. Peace.